So the season is over halfway done, and what better way to spend the summer break than by stirring the pot and judging who on the grid this season has been the most underrated. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at 5 drivers that I feel deserve a little bit more credit for their performances thus far. Be sure to let us know your top 5 drivers in the comment section down below, and without any further ado, let's get into it. First up, Guanyu. Now when you look at Zhou's season on paper, it doesn't seem like anything to write home about. With just 2 top 10 finishes and 5 points to his teammates' 46, his season, if anything, is actually looking pretty dire. However, the numbers don't really tell the whole story. When the Chinese driver was announced last year, we were all quick to write him off as just another paid driver similar to Latifi, who was destined to underperform and take up a seat in F1 which could have and should have gone to someone more talented. However, straight away he proved us all wrong. With a top 10 finish on debut followed by 2 11th places, his drives have been fairly consistent, with him showing good pace and impressing multiple times on Saturday, having 2 Q3 appearances. So it's safe to say that all of his bad luck, his before-mentioned numbers would be looking a lot better. Of course, he had that retirement at turn 1 at Silverstone, which despite not being his fault, cost him a lot, especially considering it was after his best quali where he started in 9th. So points were definitely on the cards that day. And then he also had multiple mechanical failures in Miami, Spain, and most notably Baku, where he was on a charge, even overtaking Bottas on track along the way. So yeah, Zhou has been decent, and he's definitely proved he's more than just a petty driver. Moving on. Lando Norris. Oh no, British bias alert. Except actually, I'm not the biggest fan of Lando, so I wouldn't be mentioning him here if I didn't feel like I had to. Now, it's no secret that the Brit has been on top form these past 2 seasons, always getting the best out of that orange machine, even if sometimes it has the pace of a Ford Mondeo. He's had 10 top 10 finishes compared to his teammates' 4, and currently sits best of the rest in the standings below Lewis Hamilton. He's also the only non-Ferrari / Red / Mercedes driver to have gotten a podium this year, so you have to give credit where it's due. Despite this season being a pretty quiet one for him in the media, the attention mainly being on his teammates' performances, Lando is banging out great consistent drives and deserves to be rated a little bit higher for it, I reckon. Esteban Ocon. Similarly to Lando, the Frenchman is having a very quiet season, but is being super consistent, only finishing outside the top 10 twice on pace and then once with that retirement in Britain. Yet with his teammate having the more standout performances so far this season, like that P2 start in Canada, Ocon's banging consistency has gone fairly unnoticed. And yes, I know Fernando's had some bad luck, but without Ocon, Alpine really would be nowhere near McLaren in the constructors. So should we be screaming from the rooftops how Ocon is the GOAT? Probably not. But we definitely should be rating him a little bit more than we are right now, because he's doing so well this season, alright? Up next, Lewis Hamilton. Yes, I know, British bias, fanboy bias. I'll make it quick. Look, hear me out. George has been having a monumental season, not finishing outside the top 5 in any race that he's finished. He's got a pole, 5 podiums, he's 4th in the points, beating Lewis. He's smashing it, we all know that. He's being rated where I feel like Lewis is going a little bit more under the radar. I mean, we all know his late form has been mega, with 3 thirds and 2 seconds in the last 5 races. His season has been a rollercoaster so far, with some big downs and struggles to start, but now that he's comfortable with that car, he is showing the levels of motivation and driver skill that we've become used to seeing from him. So all British and fanboy bias aside, can we all just agree that he deserves a little bit more hype? Because, I feel like people aren't putting him on the same level as, Leclerc or maybe Verstappen. And even though as a whole season he's obviously not been near Leclerc or Verstappen, I still think he is probably, 3rd best driver this season, maybe 4th. And we're not rating him appropriately, but, I am very biased. I'm very clear here. I'm a biased boy. So moving towards the 5th member of this list now, I've had a bit of trouble thinking of who it could be. So instead of just doing one big one, we're going to touch on a few honourable mentions who you could argue should be on this list, but I don't think quite make it in, their own spot. So I'm going to combine a couple of them, and that'll make the 5th person on this list, alright? Bottas. Started the season like a reborn Ayrton Senna. 7 top 10s in 9 races, however, he's really fallen off the face of the earth since Silverstone. K-Mag, similar to Bottas, started off well and has been battering Schumacher all season. And considering he wasn't even meant to be racing this year, fair play, lad. Russell, I mentioned how good he's been and that we all know it, but I still feel like he hasn't got quite enough hype for what he's done. Like, look at his results, lads. So consistent. And finally, Perez. Been doing what Red Bull need him to do, always there to put pressure on Ferrari and make their life a little bit harder each race weekend. He's never going to be on Max's level, but let's put some respect on his name, lads. His season's been pretty good. And there we have it, the 4 most underrated drivers on the grid this season, and 4 honourable mentions, which combined together make the 5th spot for this list. Again, let us know in the comment section down below who your top 5 are, and also who on our list you do agree and don't agree with. Do you think Hamilton's underrated? Do you not? I feel like that's going to be the one that causes the most controversy here. Let me know down below. I want to hear from you. But yeah, that's it for me today, lads. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Crash F1. I've been Aiden. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I can't wait for the season to start again soon. Goodbye.